Welcome to New York City and Transform, APTA's reimagined annual meeting for 2019. We've planned a brand new experience for you to mirror the transformation that's happening in our industry today. The next 3 days will celebrate and inspire the change that you, APTA's members, are leading. You are transforming who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Our industry is reinventing what it means to deliver mobility. This past year, there have been more BRT openings, more electric and clean fuel vehicles, and more passenger rail miles added. Agencies are redesigning bus routes, experimenting with microtransit, piloting the latest technologies, and attracting new riders. And APTA is sharing what we learn. We created the Mobility Innovation Hub, a source for best practices, successful projects, and leading-edge ideas. We launched APTA U, a one-stop education and training center to invest in a future-ready workforce. There are new APTA webinars and research reports on some of our biggest issues. We even led a study mission to Europe to learn how other countries are embracing mobility as a service. And thanks to you, and all we do to make public transportation's voice heard in Washington and in the media, we won another year of near-record funding from Congress. We're ready to keep transforming our future. Last night, we thanked our outgoing APTA chair, David Stackrell, for his service and for bringing us a new strategic plan. And we welcomed our new chair, Nuria Fernandez, the general manager and CEO of the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority. We're here in New York City, home to North America's largest public transit system. What better place to celebrate our successes and kick off a new year of transformative change? Our evolutionary journey continues right now.
Please welcome APTA Chair Nuria Fernandez and APTA President and CEO Paul Skatalis.
Good morning and welcome. Wasn't that a great way to start transforming?
Well, Nuria, wonderful to be with you again this morning. And let's please thank the MTA Pipes and Drum Corps. What a fabulous performance. Just so inspiring. Now, you've got to know, these are active duty police officers, and this is their 20th year anniversary. Isn't that magnificent? We're grateful to have them this morning, and they're leaving here to march in the New York Columbus Day Parade.
Yes, Paul, I am thrilled to open up this year's annual meeting, which is going to be transformative over the next 3 days. So we're excited also to be in New York, and we're very grateful to all the people at the New York DOT and MTA for hosting us. They have really made us feel at home.
Well, you heard from Nuria last evening, but let me begin by officially, Nuria, welcoming you as our new APTA chair, the General Manager and CEO of the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority, Nuria Fernandez.
Thank you. Thank you all. It's truly an honor to serve as your chair this coming year. And I have to say, I'm very excited because at this conference, we have over 2,100 attendees, 36 sponsors, which is a record, more than 100 exhibiting companies, and 13 tours, 38 sessions, and 231 speakers.
We are so grateful that you're here. Those are fantastic numbers, Nuria. Thank you. You are here to celebrate with us, to participate, to engage. We have so many exciting events planned, opportunities for you to network with your colleagues from all across the country, and in fact, overseas as well. APTA's North America's Association, I'm happy to see our Canadian members are well represented. Let's give them a warm welcome as well. And something else to note for you, we have attendees from 9 other countries participating here in New York over these next several days. Thank you and congratulations.
This is truly turning out to be an international meeting. And we are very grateful to all of those who travel from way and far, near and far, to be here with us. Enjoy the Transform, and I look forward to meeting with many more of you in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuria. You know, our future as an association, and really, quite honestly, as an industry, is tied to the strength of working together, our solidarity. Let's make that our mission, not only here, but going forward in the months and years ahead, to build a strong public transportation industry. Nuria?
Enjoy.
Enjoy
this transformative 3 days.
Good morning, APTA. On behalf of Mayor Bill de Blasio, I want to welcome you all to New York City. We are so excited to have you here, and it's great to welcome Paul and Nuria, and we're so proud of Nuria now, the new chair of APTA. I'll confess, I started my career on Capitol Hill with New York's patron saint of transportation, Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and I knew Nuria back when she was in the Federal Transit Administration, in the Clinton administration, so we're so proud of you, Nuria. Congratulations. And of course, we're also honored to have Administrator Williams here, and I know you'll be hearing from all my MTA colleagues. We have had an exciting couple of weeks here in New York City. We just kicked off, I hope most of you have already read about it, our 14th Street busway, something we did in partnership with Ronnie and her team. Our two agencies have been working together for a decade on creating select bus service routes all over the city. But this year we've managed to pull off something really different, a dedicated bus and truckway. And I'm happy to say it's been terrific partnership between our two agencies. Many people at New York City DOT, Janet Jenkins, who is here, and so many of our team did amazing work. It took us a couple years. We were in and out of court several times, had 2 temporary restraining orders, but just a week and a half ago, our work came to fruition. And I have to say, a lot of things my agency does, they're not often called beautiful, but the New York Times called it beautiful. The bus service has been sped up, the street has been quieter and more humane, and happily traffic is not spilled into the neighboring streets. So for those of you who haven't seen it, you can hop on the subway right here in Times Square, take the 2 and the 3, 2 stops down to 14th Street, and please check it out. We're so proud of our work. We're proud of so many things we're doing in partnership with the MTA. Pat Foy mentioned last night. Next up for New York City, congestion pricing. We're going to be the first North American city to do that. We'll be working closely with the MTA, and it's going to be a terrific, terrific year. Always exciting here in New York City. Again, we're so glad to have you, and thanks to APTA for having your conference. Look forward to seeing you all throughout the next few days.
Please welcome New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority's Managing Director, Ronnie Hakem.
Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor to be here with you and to have APTA's annual meeting here in New York City. We at the MTA are absolutely thrilled that you're all here enjoying New York. I realize I'm not necessarily unbiased about this, but I think what we can all agree on is that this is about a golden age for transit here in the greater New York area, as well as in your home states and in your regions. And 3 people I'm about to introduce are a big part of why here in New York things are moving forward. One of the major themes of our conference this morning is the value that robust public transit can play in generating investment in real estate. That's something the MTA has been front and center on for years, and something we're continuing to invest in. I encourage you to take tours that are being offered of Hudson Yards and the new 2nd Avenue subway locations while you're in town, because no 2 projects better embody the role that transit can play in generating game-changing investment than those 2 projects have done. There are so many exciting things going on right now at the MTA. In the last several months alone, we've launched a number of innovative initiatives, and I want to mention a couple. Omni, or One Metro New York, is a wholesale replacement of the Metro card for those of you who've used our subways and buses so far are recognizing. So we are replacing the Metro card with Omni. It's a contactless tap approach to fare payments to the rest of the subway and bus system over the next year, and it will allow all New Yorkers to experience the seamlessness of skipping the Metro card machine and paying with whatever device or contactless card of their own choosing. We're moving full speed ahead here in New York with modern signaling technology on our subways after our board this month approved a game-changing $50 billion, with a B as in boy, billion-dollar capital plan. Yes, thank you. A half dozen subway lines will get modern signals. Scores of New Yorkers will experience more reliable commutes because of it. And just last week, we introduced our first electric articulated bus here on our property. We're setting the standard when it comes to showing that all-electric, zero-emissions technology can be deployed in heavy-use urban areas. Thanks to the work Polly Trottenberg just mentioned with our partners at Cities DOT, we're going to run those electric buses on that 14th Street busway that we are all so proud of. So these are truly exciting times here in New York. I think the energy of this conference is going to reflect that. And let me introduce a few of our folks who are at the forefront of this golden age. First is Kathy Rinaldi, who serves as the president of Metro North. You may notice she's a woman who serves as the president of Metro North, the first for that railroad. Woo! Since taking over last year, she's steadily improved every aspect of the railroad. Her way-ahead plan to transform Metro North has already reaping results, and we are lucky to have her leading us. Next, you're going to hear from Andy Byford, the president of New York City Transit. His Fast Forward plan improves accessibility through our system, puts forth an ambitious, modernized signaling approach that I just mentioned. And finally, Phil Ang, president of the Long Island Railroad. He too has launched an essential Long Island Forward plan. You get the motion that all of our plans have in their names, to improve Long Island Railroad. And so without further ado, let's start with Kathy, then Andy, and then Phil. Thank you.
Good morning, APTA. I'm so happy to see you here today. It is the most beautiful week in one of the greatest cities of the world, so welcome and thank you for coming. I want to give a shout out right back to Ronnie Hakem, whose leadership at the MTA has been unparalleled. She's been a mentor and colleague of mine for, I don't even know how many years now, 15 years now. She recently announced she was leaving MTA, so I want to take a round of applause for Ronnie, who's done amazing work here. So on behalf of the 6,600 men and women of Metro North, I want to welcome you here to New York City, welcome you to the MTA system. As Ronnie said, we have so much to showcase, so much to learn from you, so much to show you. I am thrilled to be the first woman president of Metro North. I'm thrilled to congratulate Nuria, who I used to work with when she was COO of MTA. And without further ado, I want to introduce my colleague, Andy Byford, to offer you a similar welcome on behalf of the employees of New York City Transit. So thank you all.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm the token Brit at the MTA. There are actually one or two, so I'm the one with the funny accent, although I've been here long enough now to start talking about coffee and hardware and software. That's what New York does to you. So as Ronnie said, these are exciting times. This is the time to be at the MTA, and certainly for New York City Transit, we have our Fast Forward plan, which, as Ronnie mentioned, is going to transform the subway with new signaling. We're reimagining our bus network, all 321 routes. We're pushing to full accessibility across a system that has the most subway stations and Staten Island railway stations of any network in the world. And fourthly, we're transforming the culture of New York City Transit. So what we're doing is building on Ronnie's great work. We're also reliant on the 50,000 wonderful men and women of transit who every day between our subways and buses move 8 million riders. So that's no mean feat, but we know that we've got a lot to do and we want to take this thing to the next level. So as Ronnie said, it's a $52 billion capital program. Transit will get something like $40 billion. So someone once said, I look like Dr. Evil. I now feel like Dr. Evil. $40 billion. I'll have some of that. Bring it on. Let's go. 40 billion. But we do have a lot to do. That's where your help comes in. That's why it's fabulous to be back in APTA and why it's great to have such great colleagues across the industry with us today from whom we can learn and we can share lots over the next 3 exciting days. Transit's not the only one with a challenge, though. Long Island Railroad, the busiest, biggest passenger railroad in the in North America, also has plenty going on, and that's why it's great that we have a truly wonderful railwayman in charge of that. He's my friend, my colleague, Phil Eng.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to New York. Hard to follow Dr. Evil, but I'll try. As Ronnie had said, and Kathy and Andy ahead of me, here at MTA, we are doing tremendous amount of effort in line with the Transform conference that we have here today. We are reinvigorating how we're tackling transportation. We know how transportation moves the economy. We know how transportation supports economic growth. And here at Long Island Railroad, with our 7,600 employees, we're very proud of tackling the issues that have caused delays through Long Island Railroad Forward, tackling the switch issues, tackling the infrastructure and the tracks and signals. But also, we're also proud of how we're reinvigorating our capital program. While we have a $50 billion program ahead of us, we're rapidly finishing up a current one. I'm proud to say last year we finished the Ronkonkoma branch out east, double tracking, 15 months ahead of schedule. Our mainline expansion, 10 miles across our main corridor from Hicksville Floral Park that runs in Nassau County, one that will truly transform Long Island Railroad, increase capacity, increase reliability, and increase the ability for a reverse commute across Long Island. That's a $2.6 billion design-build job. That is on time and on budget. I'm proud to say that Long Island Railroad is working together with our partners in the private sector and our workforce at Long Island Railroad, and we're working to deliver a better MTA for all of New York. Thank you.
Please welcome the Federal Transit Administration's Acting Administrator, Jane Williams.
Thank you and good morning. I'm so happy to join you today and APTA President and CEO Paul Skoutelas, APTA Chair and Executive Director of the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority, Nuria Fernandez, as well as Polly Trautenberg from New York City DOT, and Ronnie Hakam, Andy Byford, and Catherine Rinaldi from MTA to provide a brief welcome from the Federal Transit Administration. It's great to join you here in New York as we continue our productive partnership with transit agencies across the nation and discuss how we move forward together to grow and transform transit as the traveling public continues to demand more. And I can't think of anyone better to lead this effort than Nuria Fernandez. You know, over the past year, I've had the chance to visit many of you and ride many of your systems. And one observation that stands out from my travels is how many of you are investing in innovation. You're identifying ways to improve your performance through strategies that may have seemed unconventional just a few short years ago. And these are such exciting times to work in the field of transportation, particularly public transportation. And we want to continue to support each of you as your federal partner because innovation has never been more important than it is today. Innovation, as many of you know, is Secretary Chow's one of her top priorities, along with advancing safety and supporting infrastructure investment. And so as we look forward to the next decade, we strive to meet the increasing expectations of a new generation of riders. Our partnership couldn't be more important. So many of you are taking important steps to stay on the cutting edge of innovation to meet those demands of the next generation of riders. And we want to continue to partner with you in these efforts. We need to think big, even as we all go about our regular business every day. So this year, as in recent years, FTA is supporting the transit industry with $15 billion in formula and competitive grant funding. And those dollars are available to to help you invest in innovation in your systems of the future. And the hallmark of my tenure while serving as the acting FTA minister has always been to be a good partner. Having held hundreds of meetings with transit agency leaders across the nation and other transit professionals, I am confident we will meet the growing expectations of our riders today who rely on public transportation because innovation is in America's DNA. It's what we've always led the world. It's what we do. It's what we've always done. And we do it better than anyone else. So welcome to New York. I look forward to sharing more with you at the FTA update later today and meeting many of you and touring many of the projects underway here in New York City. Thank you.